Hello, my friends, evolutionary energy arts family. So, guys, scientists find clear evidence cell phone radiation can cause cancer in rats. And guess what? If it could do it in rats, it could do it in you and me too. And so, researchers cite growing confidence in links between radiation exposure and some tumors. And I mean, I could just tell you outright, I can't put a cell phone close to my head because it'll give me a headache that will last for days. And I'm sensitive to the energy. So to me, it feels so obvious. And, some people are not so sensitive. But at least now we have a lot more scientists coming out and talking about this. And so U.S. researchers found clear evidence cell phone radiation exposure can cause cancerous heart tumors in male rats. It's still unclear whether the final conclusions of a 2-decade-long study of the health impacts of rodents, what that actually means for humans. But we could definitely extrapolate that on out, I think. I think many people believe that. Although there definitely is a big push to keep this quiet, obviously, because again, it's about profits. Scientists at the National Toxicology Program, which carried out the major study, this week published final reports that express more confidence in links between cell phone radiation exposure and some tumors in rats than they did in draft reports earlier this year. Their final reports, for example, concluded there is clear evidence that male rats exposed to high levels of cell phone radiation developed cancerous heart tumors, after initially saying there was just some evidence, which is a less certain classification, quite obviously. So they also said there was some evidence of brain and adrenal gland tumors in male rats that were exposed to cell phone radiation after characterizing that evidence as equivocal earlier this year. So changes. And the changes were made after the scientists in charge of the study accepted the recommendations of a panel of experts that reviewed the findings. So the scientists were coming out because they're probably getting paid off, quite simple, being paid to keep things on the down low. And then there was a panel that checked it out and said, what's up with this and what's up with that? And so things are getting changed, and that's what's great. I was watching Corey Good and David Wolcock and Emery Smith earlier talking, and I was super impressed, really, because more than I've been really with these guys in the past. Not that I've distrusted them or trusted them, just they really felt very sincere. And this was at a conference, and Emery Smith was talking about how they basically, the powers that be, certain powers that be, just killed his dog. When he was out, I guess, jogging or walking the dog, and a big truck came on down and tried to take him and the dog out, and he got out of the way quick enough, but the dog didn't. And he was actually saying that he has no family left. I don't know if his family's been taken out. He didn't really get into details on that, but it was kind of ominous. But yeah, I was talking about the white hats, and that there really are white hats that are trying to bring these things to the forefront now. And that really, the black hats, the dark hats, they're getting resistance. And perhaps this is some of that resistance that we're seeing here. And also one surprising finding in the study was that the exposed male rats lived longer and had a significant reduction in a type of kidney disease. Interesting. So one scientist, a senior scientist, said you can't directly compare this to humans. But at the same time, that study focused on 2G and 3G, right? Now we got 5G. And so, 4 and 5G. So there's a lot of evidence, and this one right here, Science Daily, and this is a study. Again, I'll have all the links for you guys again as well. And I know, just being somebody that's really sensitive to energies, I feel it. And being out here in the boonies feels great compared to being in any city. Anytime I go into a city, I just feel the increased energy now, so pronounced. And I shared with you guys down in Greenville, South Carolina, we saw 5G towers like everywhere. It was insane. They were all over the place. And it's a beautiful town, love it a lot. But boy, I couldn't take being exposed to that. And so this is out of the Watershed Sentinel, and it's talking again about the whole 5G thing. And there's obviously there's tons and tons and tons of money in this, and money talks, and money talks to the point of allowing people to get sick sometimes. Well, quite often. So, as it says right here, there are literally thousands of published studies that show that even low levels of microwave radiation do cause a biological effect. So amidst all the 5G hype, it's rare to find such a blunt statement like this one. And this is from Lux Magazine's Jody McCutcheon. Until now, mobile broadband networks have been designed to meet the needs of people, but 5G has been created with machines' needs in mind, offering low latency, high efficiency data transfer. We humans won't notice the difference in data transfer speeds, but will permit machines to achieve near seamless communication, which in itself may open up a whole Pandora's box of trouble for us and our planet. And what we're getting from so many sources is that this is all about AI, and this is all about like a new level of control in so many ways. And that's why I'm doing this as a separate video, because I completely suspect it'll end up getting hit hard, so to speak. And this is big. This is really, it's bigger than many people know. There's been countless lawsuits, against these companies for liability reasons. And over here, as it says, recently 236 radiation research scientists from around the world have signed a petition charging that 5G will be massively increasing the general population's radiation exposure. 236 radiation research scientists talking about this. Do you think they have any knowledge on the subject? And so Dr. Joel Moskowitz, University of California, Berkeley, public health professor, told UK's Daily Mail that the deployment of 5G constitutes a massive experiment on the health of all species. And I got to say, anybody that tries to cover this stuff up, do they really have a heart? Do they really have a conscience? Because this is going to affect people, and it is affecting people in a big way. People, I wonder what percentage of people are feeling the 5G effects now, and not realizing that it's 5G. Because a lot of people are feeling off, feeling sick, feeling tired, headaches, can't focus, all sorts of things. And this is something that's pretty damn serious. And so it has to be, called out for what it is, because we'll definitely be paying the costs later in terms of our health and the health of our kids. And so we have Ross Valley officials working to tighten 5G antenna rules. And officials in San Anselmo and Fairfax are bolstering the defense in the Ross Valley to constrain the proliferation of small cell antennas. They're everywhere. I mean, have you guys noticed how many of them are out there? If you're just taking a look, and you'll see that they're on every building. And so there's been recent countrywide public outcry with opponents to small cell antennas, saying there are adverse health and environmental effects that may be caused by exposure to microwave radiation emitted from 4G and 5G devices. These symptoms can include fatigue, headaches, sleep problems, anxiety, heart problems, learning and memory disorders, ringing ears, increased cancer risk, according to the EMF Safety Network website. Do any of you guys have any of those symptoms? Let me know. Leave it in comments. And I'll share with you a story. One of our dear friends that's over here, every single night she sticks her cell phone in the fireplace, which is all bricked in, and puts an iron skillet on top of it. And she's going to laugh when I say this. So, yes, I am talking about you. And so, tinfoil hats are not so crazy when you get down to it. There's reasons to have a tinfoil hat. A Faraday cage, because we're being exposed to so much out there. And the long-term effects on our health are going to be detrimental. And so you could tell when you get away from it and you go into the cities, it's so pronounced. So I just wanted to share this quick one with you guys because this is really a big issue and we don't want it swept under the table. So as always, thumbs up to support the channel. Please do subscribe and click the bell for all notifications and share with as many as possible. God bless, my friends, and namaste.